Hello, everyone. My name is Courtney Nelson, and I am working on my proposal, which involves the creation of solely black and white photographs. Specifically, I'll be walking through visual examples of what I have produced thus far, as well as visual examples which have helped me contextualize themes of timelessness, women, and intrigue. As I continue to work through specific themes, my research has been widespread and ever-evolving. I'm trying to focus on aspects of light, energy, and intrigue through the capture of unconventional moving portraits, and possibly just focusing on women moving forward. As my research questions take shape, Andrew has given me thoughtful feedback as to continue to explore themes and ideas involving women from a female's perspective, such as how through the years have women been portrayed under the lens and why, as well as a photograph's ability to be seen as timeless. In an effort to connect my research questions to contemporary practitioners, I came across Peter Lindbergh. His humanist approach makes his work seem accessible and personal. While I work on producing authentic-looking images, I find his work to be an example of such an approach. Another aspirational practitioner which I am drawn to is Daido Moriyama. His blurry and grainy nature of his work I find to be interesting and aesthetically pleasing. He tells a story with his work. He plays an active role in the storytelling by heightening the drama of natural light and moody shadows, something I'm interested in continuing. As I set out to experiment with such attributes in mind, I was not always successful. These are my attempts to capture friends and colleagues in their natural environment. I wanted to explore capturing moments without interjecting myself into the task at hand. While not always noteworthy images, it was good practice for a documentary-style approach. But they did, I will say, begin to creep in. My thoughts on what I should be doing. Does this angle make the subject seem less or more powerful? Those questions allowed me to reconsider how I was situated in the room, and I concluded that I did want to play an active role in how they were seen. And during my research, I came across an artist named Tony McGee. He documents rehearsals at the National School of Ballet and Academy of Boxing in Havana, Cuba. His documentary approach was very inspiring and made me want to capture the essence of physical work through blurred motion. In addition to themes that I am currently working on, I kept questioning myself as to what makes a powerful image. I took this serious with the hope to capture such a powerful image, but as you can see, I don't think I achieved that. The distance and lack of humanism exhibited might have played a part. This specific image was shot with a black light. I had the opportunity to work with unconventional light sources, and it was very worthwhile. The grainy feature, which came through due to the low light, was something that I want to continue. Another avenue which I will continue exploring is moving portraits. My hope was to capture this subject doing what she loved in an uncontrolled environment. Though, as I'm learning through David Campany's detailing in his book Art and Photography, a controlled space might be more suitable for a dancer's expression. In addition to themes light and motion, I have a drive to continue my research involving women in ways that I can add to the conversation as a female. From a commercial level to a fine art, I have been looking at ways women have been portrayed under the lens and how important it is to young women. My hope when photographing anyone, it is to do it in an honest way, but at the same time be aware of what the message in the image can send, even subliminally. As most of these images were taken in a very open and accessible environment, I don't feel that they say anything about the subjects at hand and are more one-dimensional portraits, so to speak. This is another area of experimentation that what I'm looking into is movement portraiture. I'm interested in discussing the deeper level of conceptual art and how I could add further meaning to my images with the use of motion, like in Paul Wood's book, Conceptual Art. Before reading his book, I had never considered my work to be conceptual, but I am interested in developing deeper levels of interest, more than what initially seen. I took this image to experiment with light during the night, and while it doesn't particularly advance my proposal, I did find it interesting. The remaining experiments, I tried to focus on the effects of light and what that can do for a frame. Does it alter the viewer's interpretation of the scene? My goal was to limit the exposure and produce a darker image. The locations varied, but I do like the low light and how that can send signals to the viewer about the subject. As mentioned previously, Moriyama's work I find to be very captivating, specifically his darker images and how they're lifted by the focus of highlights. In an attempt to experiment with the human face shape, I tried to draw attention to the natural curves to showcase a more humanistic presence. This next series is one that I did not find very successful. I attempted to take a neutral position and capture friends practicing their work. While impressive in person, I don't feel that it came through the lens, and I did not feel a deeper connection with what I was photographing. Nonetheless, it was good practice, but I don't think it'll be a part of my research. My last examples of work over the past semester I feel are directly related to my research questions revolving women and how they're photographed. All were taken in non-controlled environments, which I didn't think allowed them to feel as intimate, which I will change going forward. However, I did get a sense of their power for the images. I left the images fairly untouched in an effort to bring out those humanistic qualities like Lindenberg often does. In taking my work to the next level, I feel that I'm going to need to experiment with controlled spaces and find a more creative space to explore themes of women, imagery, and timelessness. Thank you for your time and allowing me to share where I am in my research journey.